content. Just this thing always. What is up, guys, and welcome back to another beat breakdown. Today we're actually gonna be looking at one of my favorite songs off of my recent EP, Serendipity. This song is actually inspired by Brazilian funk, and if you've ever heard Brazilian funk, then you would know exactly what I'm talking about. If you haven't heard Brazilian funk before, you should definitely look it up because you'll start to see the similarities a little bit. But there's a specific beat to it, like, you know how reggaeton has like a boom cha boom cha type of beat, whereas funk, the beat is like a boom cha boom cha boom cha boom cha. So we'll get into it a little later, and you'll see how I kind of play around with that beat style in this instrumental. So to start, this beat has a pretty simple piano loop that I started out with, very melodic, very pleasant on your ears. So that's the basic loop for the entire song itself. And from there I just start adding mostly drum sounds. There's a little bit of 808 and bass and stuff, but for the most part it's all drums. So the first thing I add is that basic boom cha cha beat that I was talking about. I don't really have the main hit first. It's not like a boom cha cha. I'm just having like that cha chas, right? So you'll hear that right here. There's a cha 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 cha, and then on top of that you can also hear like these other little sounds that kind of play in there. There's this, and then there's also this little sound that comes in and out with that main boom cha cha pattern. On top of that I layer these two sounds, which is literally, I just went in the mic, was like boom cha cha, right? And then I pitched it up and you get this. So the original, if I reset it, was like this, but then with me pitching it up, it then sounded like this. So when that layers, it gives it a little more, it just gives it a little extra variance to the main beat. Then we have the 808 that hits on the one of every single one of the beats. And then we have on the transitions this little, it's basically like a clap sound, but it's just super reverby, and it just kind of fades in into the next set of bars. And that leads me right into the next section, which I add a kick drum pattern on top of those little cha cha sounds that I had in the first section, and that's these. So if you can kind of hear, it actually has like some extra sounds that play in there a little, because this was actually a loop that I really liked. I kind of just chopped it up and took the little sections I liked and then replaced it on top of the beat grid. And then from there's when you first hear like what I like to call the most iconic part of the song, which is these sounds. When it comes in here, it's a lot quieter, but then when it hits on the drop, I make sure it's like the most important sound you hear. Now, the cool thing about this sound is that what it really is a tom sound. So it sounds like this, but on the beat grid, it's pitched up really high. So it's got a really plucky sound to it. And then on top of that, when I put it into the mixer, I added some effects. So we have a delay, which is basically what makes this sound really cool. And what I did is I made the delay time really, really low. So when it plays, it's like delaying really fast, right? Like right after each other. And it gives this weird like sound. That's without it. With it. And then on the drop, that's when everything kind of comes right back together, and you have the cha-chas from earlier, you have the me saying cha-cha into the mic on top of the tom sounds that are bouncing back and forth between your left and right ear. So two things to note on this drop section is the 808 changes a little bit. It wasn't like the 808 that we had before. It moves around a little bit more and there's some slides. So here's the 808. And then during the second half of the drop, I bring this little bass sound that just adds a little extra pluck to the drop. And then second verses, a lot of the same stuff really. I just change up the sound of the cha-cha thing, so we have this now. But yeah, this is literally it in terms of the main beat. And then on the second drop, only because I like to add a little variance to every like chorus section, I guess. There is a flute that comes in, and this is literally the last sound in the beat. And it's just on the second half of the second drop, just so there's just a little bit fuller and one last hoorah basically before the song's end. So you get this flute. So yeah, that's basically it for this beat. I really appreciate you guys tuning in. If you want to hear this song or any of the other songs on my recent EP, all the links should be down below in the description. You can check them all out: SoundCloud, Spotify, Apple Music. If you're new to the channel, I often make breakdown videos where I will sample something that someone suggests to me in the comments. So if you have any cool ideas, then definitely leave a comment down below. I really appreciate any suggestions. If you enjoyed that video, then please leave a like, and if you want to see more, then definitely subscribe. And with that, I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.